Have you seen this? These are Somalians being deported not by Americans, not by Europeans, but Kenyan authorities. This is this is amazing. Hold on.
The first batch of Somali returnees coming back into the country. They were among close to 2,000 people the Kenyan police arrested and detained in a sports stadium in Nairobi.
We welcome them. They are our people and we promise to cater for them until they are reunited with their families.
Kenyan police say it is a security sweep aimed at illegal immigrants. The deportees say they had legal status.
I lived in Kakuma. I only traveled to Nairobi for a short trip. I showed them my papers, but they wouldn't listen. Now I am not even aware of my children or how they would survive without me. I begged them to take me back to my children in Kakuma. They refused.
My thing is, if they deport people from Kenya, this is not about race or ethnicity. Obviously, this is about authority and about the law.
They accused us of being in the country illegally, but we had residence documents. They took us in and held us for 4 days.
According to the Somali envoy, however, Somali authorities had facilitated the release of those who had registered alien status.
These people are staying illegally in Kenya. We have as well released more than 900 others who could prove their documents were legal, most of whom had alien status.
Not many of these returnees have families in the capital though. Some of them are from parts of south-central Somalia, where the Al-Qaeda-linked group Al-Shabaab still controls. Somali refugees had fled their country from hunger.
Okay, so Al-Shabaab is a terrorist group, it's a terrorist organization that they were sending money from Minneapolis, Minnesota. That's why we have Tim Walsh on the laser focus right now, because other than the fact that they're stealing millions of dollars from American taxpayers, they're sending money to a terrorist organization called Al-Shabaab. Roll it.
But detention and subsequent deportation forced them back home. Some of the women who were deported now say they're worried for their children whom they had left behind. But it is not only Kenya that deports Somali refugees. Saudi Arabian authorities had by March this year repatriated more than 12,000 Somali refugees. Mohammed Hirmungi, CCTV, Mogadishu.
Not only are Somalians being deported from Kenya, they're being deported from other Muslim countries because of their citizenship. It's not due to the fact that they're Somalians and they hate Somalians. It's the fact that they're abiding by the law of their country. If you don't have your citizenship to this country, you have to be deported back to your origin country. That's the law. So what's wrong with that being implemented in America?
We continue to follow an ongoing ICE operation aimed at Somalis here in Minnesota.
President Donald Trump doubled down on his support for that operation today, taking several more jabs at our state.
It's a hellhole right now, and the Somalians should be out of here. They've destroyed our country, and all they do is complain, complain, complain.
The president also said that Governor Tim Walz should be ashamed of his leadership, and the president said that Representative Ilhan Omar, a naturalized citizen, should go back. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey signing an executive order preventing ICE agents from using city-owned parking lots, ramps, garages, and vacant lots. Tonight, we have several reporters tracking the ongoing operation and the fallout.
And we'll break down everything from the history of some.
The people that are trying to stop protection inside of the state of Minnesota should be ashamed of themselves. If they want, they can pack up and leave and go to Somalia with the Somalians. Roll it.
Somalis here in Minnesota to the rights they have, to the efforts underway to impede ICE. But first, we want to start with Leon Purvis live with a read on the Somali community tonight. Leon, what's the reaction there?
Well, Randy and Kelsey, many in the Somali community are hurt and scared by what the president said, but some of them are encouraging President Trump to come and visit them at Carmel Mall to see what they're all about, as they want to understand why the president is doing this, because they've been in Minnesota for decades.
It feels very bad.
He never said that he was sending the good guys back. What are you afraid of?
Actually, we want to tell the president we're not a garbage. actually we smell really good.
It's a sentiment many in the Somali community are feeling on Wednesday in the wake of recent comments from the president. Many are on edge with the new ICE operation underway. Outside Carmel Mall, this person held up a sign that reads, "Don't be scared, Somalis."
I think a lot of the community are very much really stressed out what's happening and really been, we will call the word fearful, about afraid why this is taking place in the Somali community.
Many Somalis are defending their community from President Trump's comments.
This is a community is hardworking. There's doctors, there's lawyers, there's people who are small entrepreneurs.
Fox 9 talked to a business owner inside Carmel Mall, which many Somalis consider the heart of the community. The past 24 hours have been difficult.
We had a hard time for our business.
Every country enforces its borders. Like Kenya does it, like we just saw in the last video. The United States does it, as President Donald J. Trump is talking about. The difference is in policy. It's how the media reacts to everything Donald Trump or anything Donald Trump.
Even as you see, no one is entering the mall. So we devastated really what our president is doing.
Some Somalis did vote for President Trump, like this business owner. We asked her if she regrets her vote now. She said no.
I voted because the reason he said, "I'm going to make America great again." So we don't want our president, saying all the Somali, they are bad. We're not bad.
Also tonight, staff at nearby Ola Arepa say that ICE agents showed up. Workers say no one was arrested and that agents showed up yesterday as well. We're going to continue to follow that development as well. For now, live in Minneapolis, Leon Purvis, Fox 9.
Okay, so I know you guys have been waiting for a long, long time, and you've been waiting for accountability. You've been asking the same question on TikTok, YouTube. The most asked question is, where's the accountability? We heard the spin, we've heard the denial. We want to know if anybody in power is going to be held accountable under oath. Well, I think now, I'm not sure, but I think I found a video where that's actually happening.
Of two hearings on Minnesota's massive fraud scandal next week. Governor Tim Walz and Attorney General Keith Ellison have been called to testify with Chairman James Comer, saying the two, quote, have either been asleep at the wheel or complicit in a massive fraud involving taxpayer dollars in Minnesota's social services programs. Here to discuss it is Fox News contributor, former Utah GOP Congressman, and former Oversight Committee Chair, Jason Chaffetz. Jason, Happy New Year. Thank you for being here because you are so perfectly equipped to address exactly. We've learned so much about this tip of an iceberg massive fraud in Minnesota, and now the Oversight Committee is getting involved. Where do you see this heading?
Look, James Comer knows what he's doing, and the first thing to do is to bring in the whistleblowers. You have state legislators there that have been sounding the alarm for some time. You have local news reports that would go back for years. And so this whole idea and this notion that, remember, you have Keith Ellison, who's the Attorney General. Both he and Walz served in the United States Congress while I was there. But you have the Attorney General saying, he wouldn't have done anything differently. You have the governor who's saying, well, we're setting up task force and, we're trying to put safeguards in place. Oh, really? And then his spokesperson comes out and says, oh, you know what? Donald Trump is trying to muzzle them. No, they're not. They're going to give every opportunity on the record, raising their right hand under oath, and be able to testify and explain to the American people where all of these billions and billions of dollars go, how some 20-year-old journalists can go out there and figure this out in less than a day. And these guys have been on the job for years, wasting our money. And they need to explain.
I think that's what they wanted to continue to do. I think all the fraud was covered up. And a lot of people on TikTok are saying that it's been covered up by the left and the right. And I have to say that I agree, because Tim Walz was in office, yes, but there were other people in the government that knew what was going on. They had to, or they had to also been asleep at the wheel. That's the problem that we're seeing right now. A lot of people pointing fingers at Donald Trump, who has just got here. He's just gotten, and even in 2016, he didn't know too much about government and how things were working, the ins and outs, and how it was really an evil place to be. Now he has his hand on the button, and he's making sure this is going to get cleaned up. He's making sure people are going to get sent back to the country if they're not supposed to be here, or if they're here, but they're doing illegal things, they have to be sent back. People gonna keep blaming Donald Trump. I just don't know why they're doing that.
This to the American people and the people of Minnesota.
Yeah, and Jason, everyone in the country, not just Minnesotans, are outraged because when you step back and remember the funds were meant to feed children, help recovering addicts and disabled adults, therapy for autistic children, yet these funds went to wire transfers overseas, luxury villas, luxury vacations, and luxury vehicles. It's really preposterous. I think ultimately, Jason, you have to say, what questions, if Walz, as you paraphrase there, is not going to show up, and presumably Keith Ellison won't go if Walz doesn't go, what can be the takeaway that can lead ultimately to people getting put behind bars and accountability being served?
I also think you have to look at the Biden administration because those monies didn't just flow by accident. You had Congress that appropriated them. I think they have questions to answer for themselves. But where the hell was what was happening within the administration and the Biden administration? Those people were out there appropriating this money. We have millions of federal employees. What do they do all day if they don't provide oversight on these? I don't think this is just Minnesota. I think this is going to New York, Illinois, California, your usual suspects are going to be right there on the list. They need to have this sort of investigation, go deeper than this. But these gentlemen, they used to be in Congress. They need to show up and testify.
They sure do. We'll see where it goes. And I think you're right. It's going to be much wider than just in Minnesota. Meanwhile.
All right. So if this is accurate information, if they're going to actually be held accountable for those actions in court, under oath, this is a step in the right direction. Legal questions being asked. That's what people have been waiting for. But until next time, accountability doesn't start with conclusions. It starts with questions.